Hello everyone, this is the lovely Mayola. Welcome back to my channel that is all about empowering the universe, giving men and women their own power back. With this amazing, profound, compelling information, it will inform, reform, transform, and help all transcend to their highest, greatest versions of themselves, revealing the depths of truth from a logical, analytical, scientific, psychological level, many levels of perspective, giving everybody a truth from different angles, helping everyone reform their subconscious mind, binding the nations, reforming the vibe between men and women, giving a mutual understanding between the two where there's a lack of understanding deeply in the roots of women and men. This channel is just revealing the truth, facts, logic, giving it as it is, no sugarcoat, straightforward bluntness. This channel is just honesty. It's what we lack in this universe, it's what we need, and it's what I'm giving you. Also, it's a very therapeutic channel. It'll have some paint sessions, a lot of different things that I will be doing on this channel that will help inspire and encourage and give you power to do more and become greater within yourself, being more in tune and connected with you, but also the universe and your significant other. So this channel is about power and bringing power to the people and bringing back oneness in the world. Peace and prosperity be unto all who's watching. It's your girl, Shaeranea, right? And I'm back with another hot video for you guys. Now, today we're going to talk about how it's important to love and appreciate your spouse long before a holiday can ever be a justification for why you love or celebrate a person's life. If you get the privilege of loving and cherishing a person, then you should know that that was the greatest opportunity ever, because love is a noble pursuit for anybody and everybody. Not everybody get the opportunity to love. Not everybody get the chance to do it. But when you are presented the opportunity, take it as a privilege, take it as an honor, and cherish the people that you love in your life. Cherish your significant other, your spouse, your companion, the one that you love, the one that you take this day out to celebrate. A love should not be the justification of gifts. Whether you love a person doesn't justify whether you should give to them. What you give should be more so yourself. When you give yourself, isn't that more empowering than anything you can obtain in this world? To be one with another and be fully connected with the individual that you're in love with, right? Because when you are broke and have no money, all you have is that person, right? You guys are going to go through hardships, struggles, and overcome things together. Like, what does it matter if the person, gives you everything in the world? Why should a person give you everything in the world anyway? If you don't give yourself everything that you desire, why should another give it to you if you don't do it yourself? So all these expectations on a significant other or what one should do when one doesn't do it for themselves, that is a flaw in humankind. It's a lot of mistakes humans make, but more so, it's more mistakes that people make in love more than anything. People have all these requirement, expectations, and standards about how they want things. This person should have all this money. This person should be like this. This person should be like that. Are you like that? Are you like that? Are you anywhere close to your expectations for how a person should be when you really aren't there either? People expect you to be so great when they're not great as they want you to be. You have to be all you expect in this life for you to obtain such requirements. And you shouldn't expect such things, because gifts are no justification for love. Love is not the justification of what you can obtain or get. Love is just the symbolization of what you can give from yourself. You're giving yourself. You are giving yourself to another. The only thing that makes the gift special is the fact that the person that you love gave you the gift, and it makes that very gift very unique, right? Because that person is very special to you. So therefore the gift that they gave you is very special as well. That's what makes gifts very significant. That's what makes gifts very special. Now, there's a lot of people in this life that use people for their way of getting things. People don't really love like they used to. People use people for their material and desire to obtain things. Don't go in life misusing people. People make all the material things in this universe. We use our minds to make all the technology and designs and the things that we have in this universe. Without us, there could be no technology, right? It comes from us. We started to make it. It came from here. We make it with our hands. It became manifested. And now that technology is such an advanced thing, it's trying to replace us. Now they're getting to a point where they want to replace humans with the very thing that we created. I don't understand. But at the end of the day, today we're going to talk about the 5 different forms of love. But before we get there, we got to know that math is the universe language. Everything comes in numbers like 111, 444, 222, 333. When you see these things in the universe, know that they all have significance. And when you know that you know that you know, when you start seeing that, it means you're on a spiritual awakening. We all go on these spiritual awakenings where we get attuned with the universe and everything around us becomes connected with us. Not many people are very in tune with themselves, even when they experience spiritual awakenings. And not a lot of people have a lot of guidance so they can get through this thing. So comment down below, why do you believe that people are more drawn to negativity and gossip and just bad things in general? Why is it that we people lack love out of all things in this universe? The universe, in the whole entire universe, the one very biggest thing that we lack is love. And that's the greatest thing among all things. But the second greatest thing is wisdom. And with wisdom, you have to have comprehension. With comprehension, you must have some understanding. So we lack a lot of things that we need to even understand what love really is. So we go in life not knowing and understanding what love really is, not knowing really how to give it, not really knowing how to receive it, not really knowing how to overcome the things that we're going through in life, because we just walk about and dwell and carry on. So let's talk about all different things before we get into the 5 forms of love. So there's 4 different elements. You got earth, air, fire, and water. 4 different elements, people. You got 4 different matters. You got solid, plasma, gas, and liquid. Okay, that's 4 different matters. You got 4 different seasons, right? You got winter, autumn, spring, and summer. You got 4 different directions. You got north, south, east, west. You got 4 ways to take in energy. You got food, prana, oxygen, water. 4 different ways to take in energy. You got 4 bodies. You got the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual. You got 5 senses. You got taste, hearing, sight, touch, smell. We all come in numbers. Things come in numbers. The amount of hairs on our head come in numbers. The amount of teeth in our mouth. The amount of follicles on our eyebrows and arms. Like, you guys, we have to know the importance of what we lack, but also what we have. We lack so much of love in this universe. The 5 different forms of love is words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. These are said to be the 5 forms of love, not 4. The five forms of love by Gary Chapman. And here's the book, you guys, by Gary Chapman. The 5 love languages. It's said to say that we have 5 love languages, but why don't we all have every single one? We have all 4 elements in the world. We have 5 senses. Why don't we have 5 languages of love? Why are the love within us divided? Why don't we have each one of them? There must be something wrong if we don't have each one, right? We have 5 spiritual senses as well. These are 5 physical senses. We also have 5 spiritual senses. There's also 5 ways to divide a sphere. You have unity. Unity is the totality of everything. The elements, the matters, the seasons, the directions. It's the totality of all of us. Humanity. All is one. One is connected, right? That's all of us. Then you have duality. Duality is 2. It's female, male, yin, yang, dark, light, moon, sun. Just 2. Duality is 2. Girl, boy. That's duality. Then you have trinity. You have child, male, woman, black, white, gray. You see that? It keeps adding on, and it comes in numbers. So, and then you go on to the elements. So that's when this comes about. And it just keeps on expanding, right? I think people don't realize how important love really is. And I really do my best at teaching the truth and teaching people what we lack and what we need. As a teacher, I find it as my responsibility as somebody who is very wise to give back the wisdom of the unknown. Give back the things that people don't pay nothing attention to, right? We lack love, right? But we also lack wisdom, understanding, and comprehension. But there is no great wisdom or great understanding without comprehension, without common sense, right? You got to have common sense to understand any kind of wisdom, any kind of anything, right? You need common sense for it to all make sense. There is nothing without the common. Nothing without the common sense. If it makes no sense, it's not logically comprehended. It's not logically understood. And it makes no sense at all. So you got to always have the common sense and the sense. And all this makes sense. We have all 4 of these. We have four different, elements, 4 matters, 4 seasons, 4 directions, 4 ways to obtain energy, 4 different bodies, 5 senses, I don't know why I'm looking up there. 5 senses, right? 5 spiritual senses, 5 love languages. You also have 7 dimensions of wellness. You got 7 dimensions of wellness. You got the physical, the emotional, the intelligent, right? The social, the spiritual, the environmental, and the occupational. And you got so many things that divide us in categories and sections and different this and that and this, to the point where if you don't take time to understand the importance of loving, cherishing, and understanding that there could be no justification for holidays Actually, this is the day of Saint Valentine. If you know nothing about Saint Valentine's, I suggest you guys to go take a look. I wouldn't suggest looking on Google, because honestly, I don't believe that they don't give out all the information. They really don't. They give you like a good gist of what it may be, what they want you to think. But if you take no time into reading deeply into the facts, really get down and doing the research like journalists, then it'd be easy to deceive you with just brief things on Google or fast site technology, fast information. Fast information isn't always true information. Let me give you the facts. We used to, and back in the 90s, we grew up having to search for information. When we wanted to find answers for a test, we took the book, we looked through the pages, we found what we needed, and we got the answers. I'm saying that people in this generation don't have to work hard to find any information, and that make you more dumb than it make you smart. If you don't have to work for nothing, then you logically become a dummy. You become a dummy because you don't have to work for nothing. You don't have to work for nothing. When you get to the workplace, you got people who work good in there. That's always going to be made to work good, because they always send the lazy people home and overwork the good people, right? So we live in a society where people aren't held accountable for the things that they're obligated to be accountable for, right? And in entrepreneur life, they say, well, everybody, you're at fault. Everybody's at fault for everybody's mistake. No, that's not true. That's not true. And that's a part of why we have so many lazy people in the world. And that's part of why it's so many people who walk around not holding themselves accountable. I get holding yourself accountable for your mistakes, your wrongdoings, but you're not accountable for how people treat you. Yes, you're accountable for saying something about it, but you're not necessarily accountable for how people treat you. You're accountable for if you allow it to go on. That is in your discretion. That is in your cards, in your hand, after you done experience a hand of mistreatment a couple of times. It is in your hands to tell the person, hey, I don't like the way you talk to me. You don't treat me right. You know, you got to tell people those things. That is in your hand. But how they went about it, what they said, you can't control people. I get that part. You can't control people, but you can control you and what you do and how you react to certain situations and life. So 5 different love language is really important, and being really connected and in tune with yourself and figuring out who you are and what you want as an individual is very important. Self-love is the greatest form of love, but when we live in a world where there is so much abandonment, right? So much abandonment, a lot of people going from foster home to foster home, a lot of people losing their parents at a young age, a lot of people growing up in the streets, a lot of people in and out of the judicial system, a lot of people just not having a lot of guidance and a lot of love, and a lot of people just there being their mentor, right? Just being there to show them the right way or the way to go or how to do things properly. Like, it's just how it is, and that's how we come in this world sometimes. Not everybody's dealt the same hand, but we all dealt the same 24 hours, and we all dealt the same chance of making a difference in our life. And even though we all experience heartbreak and all experience different things eventually, that doesn't mean that what you're going through is not as bad as the person next to you, because what you're experiencing may just be bad enough for you, right? Because we're not all built the same. We're not all built to endure the same. But there are people in this world going through way worse than you, and they're holding together a lot better than some of us, right? That's just how life is. And when you think about life, God really created people and things around in life totally different. You can talk to a person right now and you'll hear their life story and you're like, and you'll talk to them, and they'll tell you all the stuff they've been through, and you look at them and like, I don't even see how you're still together. Like, how are you still standing here? Like, how did you make it? You be around people that has experienced so much in their life, right? So much mistreatment, abuse, abandonment, just so much in their life that it's so hard for them at this point in their life to learn how to love, because there are forms of love that we should have as individuals. We should have empathy. We should have understanding. We should have a little compassion. We should have a ability to know and discern right and wrong, and have our own sense of identity and belief in what our dreams are. Now, everybody has dreams. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of people who have dreams are not ambitious. Don't pursue their dreams at all. They just don't have that get up and go drive. And I can't be mad at them. They don't have that get up and drive. There's a lot of lazy people in the world. What can I say? A lot of people don't want to make the effort. A lot of people want to travel the road that doesn't endure too much, too much pain, too much suffering, too much adversary, too much struggle. A lot of people don't want to endure the process of what it's going to take to achieve those dreams. So this is part of why a lot of people just let their dreams sit down and they don't do nothing with it. Now, you got a you got a large amount of people that actually take the time to go through the process. They may complain about it, but at least they go through the process, and they go through the phases of the totality of what it's going to take to obtain what they want. So in this life, we go through seasons, we go through phases, we go through numbers of elements of seasons, directions, and different phases of our lives. That's a part of life, and it also happens in numbers, different ages. And as we grow older, we learn to understand that these things are very important for us to obtain and know. When we get to the place of where we're supposed to be and where we desire to be, are you happy before you get there? And if you're not, why aren't you happy right now? You should be working on your happiness before you obtain what it is that you desire. You can't have everything you want if you're not happy. And even when you obtain it, you're not happy enough to keep it, because you're going to be in misery. Because people who are miserable, everybody who's miserable don't love company. That's just people who love the gossip. Let's be real about this, guy. It's a lot of people who are miserable in the world who has committed suicide, who's taken their lives. It's a lot of people who've died behind their own self-misery. Misery does not love company. It's only specific types of misery that loves company. Let's be realistic and stop labeling things to be something that they really are not. In this society, what they do is they label things that, instead of giving out an explanation for why things are the way they are, they tell you, keep it simple. Don't elaborate. Don't break it down. Make it easy for them to understand. No, they won't understand if you keep it simple. They won't get what you're saying if you don't break it down. Why keep it simple? Why not elaborate? This is why there's such a lack of understanding, a lack of knowing. People keep it simple. People want to keep it at a direct point with just straightforward questions. People don't want to keep it at a general idea where people are open to coming and talking about the things that's going on with them. If you keep it open at a general state, then people are more comfortable with talking to you, and it makes it easier for people to get things off of their plate. That way, people don't walk around thinking about killing themselves all the time, and it makes it easier to have greater conversation, because you're not hitting them with direct questions that they have to think about giving you a straightforward answer with. Now they can feel free to come to you and talk to you about the things that they desire to talk to you about, rather than the things that you are asking them. So Me being an empath, a humanitarian, and somebody who deeply feels and love and is very passionate for people, I feel that this very thing that I am fighting for is really important, and I want people to see the value in love and the value of wisdom and knowledge and understanding and the value of coming together as a unity, a unified front, and standing for what is true. Speak the truth and don't use your mouth for lies, because lies can live longer than the truth if you ever speak it. Now, when you tell a lie, lies can be repeated in the mind constantly because they hurt a lot more. Yes, the truth hurts, but it hurts in a way that no one has to ponder, wonder, and think about it. Okay? It's after you told the truth, it's like, okay, I got it, done, and it's over with. So if you guys want to see me continue to make content like this, let me know. And I just want to say peace, prosperity. Let's have abundant and prosperous year. If you have a companion or a loved one, I really suggest that you guys learn how to love each other in every way effectively. I'm not the best gift picker, but I am the greatest giver. I'm not the greatest receiver, but I am the greatest giver. At the end of the day, there are some things that we as people need to work on within ourselves. And when you realize that you're not at your best, you with each day can become your best by realizing these very facts about yourself, because you can never truly know the next person beside you until you know who you really are. So at the end of the day, peace, love, and happiness, and let's get real down to the truth. Love everybody.